Welcome to the New Show Podcast, one of the new show podcasts of all time. That's a guarantee. I am here with Chris Mata. Hello, welcome again. Lovely to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Hi. Right off the top, let's go ahead and ask you guys to like and subscribe. Go ahead and comment, leave compliments, leave insults, leave questions. We are on YouTube. We are about to be on all platforms after this episode. That is where we're heading to. Big thanks to Atticus for the intro music. That was snazzy. I like that.
Yeah.
That was all Atticus. Also does the animation. So thank you, Atticus. And let's get into it. So today we have questions today, Chris.
We have four. I saw you said we had four questions.
We have 4 questions.
That's the most we've ever had.
It is the
Usually
most.
Usually it's Azarath Asks.
Usually it's an Azarath Ask segment, which thank you, Azarath. You have kicked it off.
Their mug, by the way, is on the way.
Yeah. They're like the first person that hops into the dance floor to get the party going. That was me doing the lane thumbs.
Oh, remember that?
Dance?
I love that.
Yeah, that was great. So Azarask is the only Azarask. Huh. We just found
Coined
anything.
it.
Yeah.
Azarask.
Azarask.
We could name this segment Azarask.
Azarasks.
Yeah, Azarasks, but it's everybody's questions.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Right? Azarasks. We'll see. We'll see
what happens there. She's the only one that's getting a mug, though. So,
that's cold.
Yeah,
man.
It's all good. It's all good. Okay. Our first question is from Shaq Roll. What's up, Shaq Roll? Thank you for your question.
Boom.
Thank you very much. Shaq is an awesome comedian.
Oh, comedian.
Yeah.
We have a comedian chiming in with the question.
His question is
Shaq Roll, like Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah, but Shaq Roll, like Shaq rolls off the tongue.
Dang.
Yeah.
I thought it was like you know what? I'm not even going
to. It's what it is.
It is what it is, Shaq Roll.
It's fantastic.
It's like
Shaq.
a pastry, like a cinnamon roll.
Yeah. Excuse me, can I have one Shaq Roll?
And it's giant with a lazy eye. Because Shaq has a lazy eye.
Shaq, we do not think you have a lazy eye.
No, not Shaq Roll, but Shaquille O'Neal.
Yes, he does, yeah. This one has stunner shades on, like most of the time.
He has what?
Stunner shades.
Stunner shades?
Stunner shades. Shades to stun with.
Damn, that sounds badass.
He is. He's pretty badass.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what did he ask?
So Shaq asked, what do you think we'll find when they probe Pluto? Ooh.
They're going to find that Pluto's gay.
Why did you know? See, I knew he giggled for a weird reason.
Yeah. That's the first thing.
The word probe.
Probe.
It's fun. It actually, when you Google probe, the first thing that comes up in the search engine, you know how it completes questions for you, is the planet Uranus. So it's probing Uranus.
That came up in yours.
That came up in Google's search.
Right.
That's the most common.
No, it is what it thinks you want.
Man.
Right? So how about people at home put in the word probe in your Google and see what you get? Jerry got Uranus.
The planet, not the planet. It was so anyway, but what we probed is actually Pluto. That's what we probed in 2015.
NASA probed it.
NASA probed it. They have a special spacecraft. It's called New Horizons.
What's it shaped like?
It's shaped like a spacecraft. Why do you ask?
I don't know. It's a probe.
Yeah. Well, this probing is not so much a probe as it is a flyby. So they got close enough to actually get pictures, get footage of what it looks like in Pluto. And they did that in 2015 for the first time. They flew by it.
7 years ago.
7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. And they got incredible photos of giant ice mountains.
Wait, just now they got it? It took 7 years for the photo to get...
No. They're planning their next probe now.
Oh.
But 7 years ago was a historic flyby. It was the first time, the closest we've gotten to Pluto.
Oh, wow.
First images we could really see of what the planet was like.
And they saw what, you said?
They had ice mountains.
Ice mountains.
Yeah. Water, ice, gigantic, tall mountains. And they also had giant plains of what is it? Nitrous ice.
I can't even picture that.
I can't even picture that either.
That's mine. Imagine if we had nitrous ice here.
I
don't. Planets are so interesting that if it has an ice mountain, just a mountain of ice.
Yeah.
Is it fresh water? Is it salt water? What's in that water? And if we were
acid.
Acid.
I'm pretty sure there's got to be acid.
But
water.
imagine going to Pluto and then being like, oh, this is actually fresh water. We could melt that ice down and colonize Pluto.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do as humans. We're a virus.
We colonize things.
Yeah.
We infect things.
Remember
We
Agent
probe
Smith?
them.
We. Agent Smith, remember that? Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, we're a virus.
That's
right?
true.
Yeah.
He was a living virus.
Yeah. No, we were. He said that humans were. We just
Humans were a
infect
virus.
everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
And then he, in turn, I want to say, remember Neo went inside of him?
No.
He didn't really probe him.
He
but
really probed him. What are you talking
probed
about?
him through the chest.
He probed him as fuck.
Yeah. For real, for real.
For real, for real.
On God, fam.
That's on 100.
That's cap, no cap.
Wow. Here at the news show, we like to stay hip with today's lingo in order to inform our guests that all audiences are welcome, of all ages, even the ones who are creating languages that we have no idea.
Yeah. So so what are they going to find on Pluto then? That was the question.
What do you think you'll find?
I really hope, and I'm not being facetious, a transformer. Machines, robots.
Machines.
Machines, like robot machines. Like
Yeah.
different, I want there to, a life form.
A robotic life form.
Metal. Like not organic.
How every time you enter, it's like a wrestling intro show.
It's like Enter Sandman, or
Yeah.
if you were to Wear concert. The metal band Wear.
Never heard of them.
I don't know why. I think that's fascinating that you were in a band called Wear.
I think I was in a Were band, and again, for a minute, he's giving this entirely too much attention, way more than it deserves. We need to put this to rest, as I have.
No, that's why the band
it's
didn't do
buried
well.
in my past.
That's why the band did not do well.
It's a skeleton that I don't want to talk about.
Were skeleton.
A Were skeleton.
So on Pluto, I want them to find, but what I do actually think they'll find is just a bunch of more bacteria or small single cell organisms, nothing too spectacular.
Nothing too
Yeah.
spectacular.
What do you think they're going to find?
I think they're going to find clearer images of the said plains of nitrous ice and acid. I really feel like there's acid involved in a dwarf planet, which, by the way, is not a planet. It's a dwarf planet, if you guys remember.
Right, Pluto lost its planet status.
Yeah, but for some reason kept its planet title.
You know what's
just with an addition to the word dwarf.
Okay, first of all, I'm offended that they used dwarf.
Yeah.
Right? And then
Yeah.
second of all, who are we as humans to grade, to classify planets? They're in space.
Well, scientists, I guess. Scientists have come up with like 3 criteria that makes a planet.
I guess if you're trying to catalog or categorize things, you
Yeah.
would need things like that too, right? I'm going to have to ask a librarian.
I think you know a librarian.
Do I?
I think you do.
Well, I'll ask that librarian.
Ask the librarian.
I will.
We should have a librarian segment.
A tenured librarian segment.
Exactly. Exactly.
That would be fun.
If they have time.
If.
I'm sure a tenured librarian has a lot going on.
Probably.
So, okay, essentially, there's going to be a lot of ice. It's going to be a cold, cold planet.
Hold on. It's going to be Coors. Like on the bottle of Coors beer, there's a planet.
It was
the mountain.
It's been
of
Pluto
snow.
the entire time. Yeah.
So the photographer for Coors went to Pluto. Photographed the mountain.
Yeah.
Anyway, so maybe they'll find beer.
Maybe they'll find beer.
And Brett Kavanaugh, if there's beer.
Maybe they'll. How could they not? Where there is beer, Brett Kavanaugh flocks.
Where there is beer, there is Kavanaugh.
We know how much Kavanaughs enjoy their beer.
That's a shirt. Where there is beer, there is Kavanaugh.
Oh,
Dang.
I love that. Let's throw that up into the merch, which we have, by the way.
We do have merch.
Mugs, we've got stickers, we've got hoodies of every color. Oh my God, they look so cute.
Wow.
I love them. They're good material hoodies. They are. Okay, that's not coming from me. That's coming from someone who bought the sweater. He was like, wow, this is really good material.
Yeah, if you get merch, send us a photo of you.
Please post a photo, share, tag us so we can let people know. I swear there is merch. It is a real thing. It does come to you. Yeah. It's a real, people like to know that it's real.
People do need to know that it's real.
Yeah.
So that was Shaq Roll.
Thank you, Shaq Roll.
Yeah.
Now we can go to our Azarath Asks question.
So we did get one from Azarath.
Yep, they did answer. They did ask one question. Actually, it's more of an exclamation. So we can't drink rainwater anymore? with a head exploding emoji because, yeah.
Okay, first of all, did you ever drink rainwater?
I've never had to survive on rainwater, so I would say no. But you know when you're out in the rain playing as a kid, and then you stick out your tongue like you would a snowflake, tasting some. And also, everyone would assume that rainwater is the safest water to drink.
Right.
It's coming from.
It's almost as it like it's been filtered because it
Yeah.
What is it?
The Brita in the sky.
The Brita in the. I was gonna say what does it do? It condensation, but it evaporates.
Yeah.
It goes up, creates clouds. You would think that's
Yeah.
like the ultimate filter
That's
system.
the ultimate Brita.
But it's not.
But it's absolutely not. You know why? Because where does the water come from to begin with?
Oh.
From here, the earth, that we as humans have been fucking up for quite some time now.
We pee and poop in water.
We sure do. And then we flush it out into the larger systems of water that also have contaminations of plastic. Waterproof clothing is apparently a contamination.
Drugs.
People
flush their drugs down. Alligators.
True. Yeah.
Pet alligators.
Pet alligators on drugs.
And wearing waterproof plastic.
I'm sorry, Florida is a thing. You're going to tell me that there are no alligators high as fuck on drugs right now?
Dude, that's what's wrong with alligators today.
Yeah.
That doesn't get enough attention.
People don't know about the epidemic with alligators.
They sure don't.
And how they are.
And you can go to you know what? Donate, the hotline. What would it be?
What's the hotline, Chris?
I don't know, but do you remember Conan O'Brien did a thing, like he was like, go to some animal, I forgot what it was, like a platypus or something, but he goes, go to platypus.com or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
No.
And it turns out that if on network television, if you say there's a website, you have to, so they were forced to create this platypus.com.
What?
So that otherwise it was fraud. They had to do it.
Otherwise it was fraud.
Something like that, but they had to create it. So I
Okay.
that doesn't work on YouTube, right?
No.
No. Either way, to donate, just go to anewshow.com and buy merch.
Yeah.
And
we send it directly to the National Association of Crocodiles on Drugs.
High as fuck crocodiles.
High AFC. HAFC.
That's a really good acronym.
I like that.
That's another shirt. Yep.
That's another
and
shirt.
just put a crocodile with weed.
Save the crocodiles, people. You know crocodiles need a little bit more for a kick. They're coming from the swamps of Florida.
And
you know
they're
what
angry.
travels around Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so rainwater.
Okay, so basically, officially, rainwater is unsafe to drink. It's got something in the water called forever chemicals, which is like environmental contamination based off of, yes, the plastics we've thrown into the water, waterproof clothing we've thrown into the water, and every other thing that we throw into the water. That's what's rising up and turning into rainwater for us.
Time out. How does waterproof clothing get into the water?
It's contaminated because it's like a forever lasting, long lasting fiber kind of material that's not supposed to get damaged in the water. Therefore, it lasts in the water.
Right, but you would think it would be waterproof.
Right? Waterproof in the sense of it's not breaking it down. The water is not able to permeate through the chemicals.
So it doesn't permeate, and then that goes up into the clouds.
Well, just the chemicals that are in it. I don't know what chemicals
and
are
then
in
it comes down,
clothing.
right?
Yeah.
And then it comes down, probably Teflon, DuPont, right? Some DuPont chemicals.
Yep.
And then it comes down, and you can't drink it because it causes cancer.
It causes cancer. It causes immune issues, long-term immune issues, pregnancy issues. It's like really
gets you
dangerous.
pregnant?
It doesn't get you pregnant. It causes prenatal issues, concerns within women that may or may not be pregnant that are drinking it.
You know, you really do have to be careful what water you're drinking. Like you can't drink city water. People in LA are all about the Brita.
Yeah.
Right? I have 2 Britas because the pitcher doesn't hold a lot of water.
The Brita's never enough.
So I have 2.
I'm refilling it like twice a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have other jars filled with the Brita water so that I have
nice.
extra water.
Yeah,
and then I take
like that.
old wine bottles and I
Yeah.
rinse them out and then I put Brita water in there so it looks like I'm drinking wine, but it's all in the fridge.
I wonder, so even if you were to boil rainwater, that wouldn't work,
That would make it worse. That would, right?
would it? I mean, because all of this contamination, they're called forever chemicals because they're
Right.
supposed to last 1,000, not even 1,000, thousands of years. Thousands and
Well,
thousands.
That's a long time, but it's not forever.
It's
So
it's within our time.
sort of dramatic
lapse
to be calling it forever
for
chemicals.
thousands and listen.
It's a
When
bit
someone hasn't
melodramatic.
texted me back in like 20 minutes, I'm like, it has been forever. Why?
Right.
Isn't that
you
not
know what?
true? Yeah.
Point made. Point. You are. Yeah. I'm with
Forever
you.
is subjective.
So we
Just
can't.
like all of a sudden.
That was from last week.
Yeah.
And you know what? All of a sudden, we can't drink rainwater anymore.
All of a sudden we can't. Do you see how that works?
It happened like that.
Suddenly.
I think I just blew out the speaker
Suddenly.
of my red thing. When it,
Maybe it's the aperture.
that's to do with light. Wow. I love that look. Anytime people invoke the senses, look.
Listen.
Because you know they're full of shit. Look now.
Listen. I know what I said. It's like I know what I said, but let me double down and still mean it.
Yeah, let me make it worse.
And and you have to take it. So
But I did, when I was a kid, I did drink rainwater. My family would leave their pitchers out when it would rain, and they would collect the rainwater.
I'm sure that's a thing that a lot of people did.
In the South.
Yeah.
And then you put tea bags in there. It was always Lipton with lemons.
Really?
Yeah, and then so the sun comes out after the rain, right? And we would have sun tea. So delicious.
That doesn't sound good.
What are you talking about? It doesn't sound good.
I mean, I guess like particles of dust would like fall into the buckets of water, and
No, you don't
maybe
put it-
like fruit flies. Do fruit flies not come to the tea bags?
No.
Flies?
No,
Bees? Every time I leave any cup out, there's a bee in it by the time I come back to it. Outdoors, all the time.
No, and it was a pitcher, and we had sun tea, and it was delicious.
Okay.
So, I mean, good questions. I don't know why there weren't any fruit flies, because there was fruit, like lemon in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's very sour, dude. Fruit flies love sour, you know?
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm
and
glad
bees
you
love
enjoyed
sugar.
it. I'm glad you had that time to enjoy it because that time is no more.
Gone. Okay.
No more rainwater, guys. Don't ingest it. Don't drink it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your question, Azra.
Thank you, Azarath.
Yeah.
Our next question is from HVAC Nate. HVAC.
HVAC Nate?
HVAC Nate, HVAC 818. Thank you
818.
so much, Nate.
Oh, he's from the 818 Beechwood Beachfront
I don't
Avenue.
know.
That's
I'm-
from the Vanilla Ice song, right?
Okay.
818 Beachfront Avenue.
Too young to get that reference.
I quit. Okay, so what's HVACs?
Nate's question is, could you survive on the TV show Alone? You know, it's really funny because we actually really got into watching Alone recently.
Yeah, when we went to Corpus Christi.
Yep. We were in Texas watching Alone. It was a new season that came out. It's from whatever, the History Channel, I think, or
Maybe.
National Geographic.
Discovery, something
but
like
it's on,
that, yeah.
But it's on Netflix now, so you can go watch it. And it's basically people that are dropped off in the middle of nowhere in a harsh condition kind of forest, and they're just left with like nothing. 10 items. They're allowed to bring 10 items.
10 items, yeah.
And they're all spread out. They're not together. And it's, you know, who can survive for the longest.
In the wilderness.
In the wilderness by
Alone.
themselves. Yeah.
Completely alone.
Completely alone. With a camera.
And yeah, 'cause
They are
right.
self-documenting themselves.
Yeah, I think that's the one condition. And the prize is like $500,000.
That is the prize for the longest lasting survivor, essentially.
Yeah.
Which, not that people die. They don't let people die
No,
on this show.
they have the 911, the walkie-talkie,
There's
right?
a tap out button, essentially.
The tap out button.
Yeah, you
and
can
they
just-
call up
can
and they're
just
like,
tap out.
I tap out.
Yeah.
And people tap out because they get lonely. Right?
It's
It's
like-
always about their family.
It's always the people that are like incredibly good at like with their hands. They've built themselves like a home. There's an entire brick house for some
boat?
reason. They built a wooden mug.
It's
They-
like the little pig. It's like the third pig who built his house out of bricks.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
One guy, I remember, he like shot a deer and then he used the skin to make a chair out of it.
He sat in his chair
He
like
sat
it
in
was
a
day
deer
what,
chair.
like 2 months in.
Yeah.
He had a deerskin chair.
Yep.
And his wooden mug. Did he have a corncob pipe? I'm gonna just say that he had a pipe.
I think he did. He might as well have.
But imagine you're walking through the woods and then you
going to a
happen
hike.
upon this guy.
Jesus Christ.
I would be like that. We're gonna die.
Terrifying. I'd be like, I am his next meal. Look at him. He's obviously resourcing everything
But
around
us
him.
on the couch, we have figured out wilderness.
Obviously. Okay. First of all, everyone knows you can't drink rainwater anymore.
Right.
thing won. Which, oh my God, they were all collecting rainwater.
No, they weren't. No.
Yeah, they were.
They were going to the river.
A lot of people were collecting rainwater in another season that I saw. They just had tarps out collecting water.
They clearly did not see or listen to this podcast.
Yeah. It's almost like it wasn't out yet.
Time travel.
All of a sudden.
But bottom line is, that is not an all of a sudden. But the bottom line is, I could make it. I would win. Okay, honestly, I would completely tap out after a week. I would not be able to shoot an animal.
Yeah.
Much less catch one even if I wanted to, but I wouldn't even know where to begin skinning it. Or what do I do with its head? You catch a rabbit, what do you do with its ears?
You cut off the head, and then you take the ears as like a good luck charm. No, that's the foot. They take the foot and put it on their keys or something. Right.
Well, you can have as many rabbit's feet as you want, but you're not going to make it on alone.
Yeah, I'm not going to. Oh, I have no qualms. I will not make it on alone.
How many days would you last?
I would last for as long as my high lasts, which would probably be about 3 to 4 hours. Until I run out of weed.
Right, and that would be your tap out.
And then I would be like, oh shit, I'm out of weed.
Yes.
I gotta go.
Right.
Time to go. There's no drug dealers out here?
You know what? I'm surprised. No, there
Dispensaries?
aren't. I'm surprised people don't get together and be like, okay, everybody tap out day one except me and we'll split the prize.
That's a really good idea. There has to be some kind of an alliance. Maybe they're not allowed to have alliances. I mean, why would you?
Maybe you don't know, right?
Yeah.
But still.
You should be very good. Well,
but still, you could go in with the alliance, with the understanding of we all just quit first day, second day.
Yeah.
And then you go home with the prize money. You split it up between 10 people. That's what, 500,000 between 10 people is profit.
Is that what that is? It's not start over money, which is I think what people want.
I was going to do the math and I was like, I can't do the math right now.
Yeah, no.
What's 500,000 divided by 10?
I don't know.
It's got to be like 50,000, right? Yeah, I think it is, right? 51, 52, 53, 54, 55.
It is 50,000.
It's like 50,000 each.
Like that you incorporated the fingers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is 50,000 each.
It's 'cause
That's not bad.
I got it from Stand and Deliver. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could pay off your California taxes with that money.
Dude, taxes in California are stupid.
And then get Chinese food after. Yeah. Or I guess here
Right,
it's Panda Express.
The bowl with one meat.
Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you for your question. Who was that?
Thank you, Nate. That was Nate.
Nate, HVAC Nate.
HVAC Nate, HVAC 818.
818.
He knows really good music. I happen to know. This man knows his fucking rock.
Beachfront Avenue.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Nate.
Thank you, Nate.
Our next and final question is from Jenny De Aquino.
That's your last name.
Is it?
Weird.
That's weird.
Is there any correlation?
I don't think so. I never heard of her. She's
Anyway.
pretty though.
Yeah, she does like all of the stuff on Instagram.
Thank you so much for being a large supporter and fan.
And finally
Jenny
asking a question.
De Aquino. She is of Aquinos.
She is of the Aquino.
Yeah, she's of the Aquino because she's not.
That's badass.
Yeah,
right there. Yeah.
I guess. What she asked is any new guests joining? You guys do an excellent job sharing different topics. First of all, thank you, Jenny. Wow, what a compliment. Coming from you, that means a lot.
It's almost like you were trying to gain her approval.
We don't have time for that kind of therapy.
We don't. But as far as guests are concerned, so people work during the day. We record this at 1 in the afternoon.
Yep.
And everybody we know works
During the day.
during the day.
Yeah, because people need to have jobs. That's totally understandable.
Yeah. So
I work at night quite often, which is why this kind of works for me. But we want more guests. We want all comedians, entertainment at all. Please chime in, help us with some questions, even if you don't want to be like on camera. But we are completely open to more and more guests.
and the thing about this podcast is it's also a vodcast. It's a video too, so you have to come here.
Yeah.
And that's part of the issue, right?
Now, can we make it a thing where they could set it up on like a Zoom situation?
It's a sound quality thing. Not everybody has the sort of mics that you need.
Yeah.
And if we did it like that and the sound was crap, nobody would. It's better to have better sound than video. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Right on.
So that was a good question.
Those are all really good
But we are
questions.
actively working on getting guests. It's just, everybody works. Pam Waltz wanted to get her on. I haven't reached Lisa Curry's on tour every time I see her. So
Very cool.
and
Love
Jim Coughlin was able to come here.
Jim
Pamela
was great.
has a job. She works during the
Yeah.
day, right? And
So does Tate Morgan, a great comedian that we would love to have on the show.
Out to her. Everybody we reached out to. Melissa Shashahi.
Yeah.
Very funny. But all the other comics that write for this show or the new show that's coming up, right?
Yeah.
Our show.
Yeah.
They're all out of town. The only ones that are in town are Lisa Curry, Pamela Waltz, and Jim Coughlin.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
I mean, we'd love to have you on if we ever have time, or if we ever have time to be able to accommodate other comedian schedules, then we're definitely going to get on that because I want to hear other people's thoughts. I'm not the number one brain to be asking all of these questions. I'm bringing things to all of our attention, including my own. I'm learning along with everyone else.
Yeah, I feel like the conversations we have about these things and politics, it's like people who are not well read on it, and then we have to look it up and make it make sense because we're the layman. So we make it make sense to the layman's out there.
To myself, yeah.
Right.
It has to make sense to me before I tell you guys about it. I'm like, what is this about? Pluto probes. I thought it came out years ago.
Sounds like you thought it came out.
Years ago.
But came out.
As a dwarf planet.
As a probe.
No, as a dwarf planet.
Came out.
Rough. That turned graphic.
Wow.
Well, thank you for all your questions. Keep them coming. So let's look into the stories. Let's get into the Huffington Post. Yeah. What our top story at the Huffington Post says, watchdog stalling on January 6th texts? What does that mean?
Watchdog stalling on January. Oh, the text from the Secret Service. Is this what they're talking about?
Yeah.
They were deleted. Secret Service deleted their texts.
Yeah. What is that about? Are they allowed to do that?
It's secret.
That doesn't feel right.
But it only makes sense.
Yeah. But now there's a hint that they could possibly be subpoenaed for it.
No, you know what though? Nobody's honoring the subpoenas.
No one's
Nobody's doing
honoring,
it.
yeah.
Right? Who didn't go? Steve Bannon didn't go. Who's that other guy? I forget his name.
Trump.
Peter something. Trump.
He pled the fifth the entire time.
Giuliani.
Yep.
Oh, that dude's in trouble now too.
Why is that?
I think the Georgia probe is getting him.
These goddamn probes.
They're everywhere. They're going to find an ice mountain.
They're going to do flybys like you've never seen. Like you've never seen.
You've never seen a flyby done until you've seen it on Giuliani.
Yeah, rough. That doesn't
So
sound...
is that what's happening? The text from the Secret Service?
That seems to be happening. And they have since turned in a large number of records and documents over to the investigating committee of the Capitol insurrection, but only one text message between agents on the day before the attack. Oh, there's only one text message before the attack.
Oh, and it says, make sure we delete all the texts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's literally that's the one text. It doesn't say? It doesn't say. The insinuation that the Secret Service maliciously deleted text messages is a false request that is being made up, that they are saying is being made up by the GOP. Wouldn't not believe that, but who knows? Speaking of the GOP, let's move on to what's going on at the Drudge Report. Drudge Report, what they feel is super important is Liz Cheney. And we love Liz Cheney these days. She is going down in a blaze of glory thanks to her anti-Trumpness.
Yeah, Liz Cheney, who by all intents and purposes, all accounts, should be all about Trump because her father, hardcore Republican, Dick Cheney, who is responsible for giving the president more power. The office of the presidency, more power.
Yeah, but she is anti-Trump, AF.
But why would she be anti-Trump?
Why?
And why would any Republican be anti-Trump? I mean, if they followed George Bush, right?
Yeah.
Into this false war, the false narrative of weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, and even Colin Powell gave that speech at the UN saying there are no weapons of mass destruction. Republicans have been going that far for a long time. So what about Trump makes them not want to, somebody like Liz Cheney, what about her?
I think Trump is like a new level of Republicanness that kind of like outsource. It's bigger than what the Republican Party used to be. And it stands for a lot more fear-mongering, for a lot more like hate spread, a lot of mistruths, misinformation that turn people into giant mobs of hate. And some Republicans, like Liz Cheney, are not for that. In fact, she voted to impeach Trump. She was one of the few Republicans.
Huh. I'm guessing that possibly because Donald Trump doesn't have anything to blackmail her with.
Yeah. I mean, well, now they're voting. They're voting to see if she's going to stay in the House or if she's going to be voted out. Which Republicans aren't too happy with her. Trump supporters are definitely not happy with her.
She's got to stay right. She's the head of the January 6th committee. So if she goes, what happens to the committee?
They hire someone new for the committee.
What's going to happen with the whole investigation?
Oh, it's going to continue. She's not the only person that was running it. She was just the head.
She's hot too.
That's not that. Here at a New Show podcast,
that's a compliment.
Don't like to reiterate misogyny compliments or comments.
That's not misogyny.
It was.
Can I say I'd like to massage her? Is that misogyny?
It's misogy.
Can I massage you? I wouldn't want to though. I respect Liz Cheney for. I'm clearly joking.
Yeah.
I don't want to massage her, right? I want her to stay in the Senate.
Right.
And finish this investigation. And I bet you, I've never said the phrase "dollars to donuts," but in this one, I will say, I bet you dollars to donuts.
What does that mean?
Don't know, but I've heard it a lot.
Uh-huh.
But it means something. And we should probably Google that and discuss it next week.
Okay.
But that the Republicans who are saying they are pro-Trump will actually vote to keep her in. But they don't vote, right? Her colleagues don't vote. It's the voters.
It's the voters.
Ooh.
Which are...
Stupid. No, they're not. We're right because voters are very fickle people.
Voters are loyalists to the extreme for any of the reasons they could come up with. All of the wrong reasons, all of the right reasons, a little bit of both.
Right. Basically, do your own research, as they like to say.
Do your own research, guys. Yeah.
But how do you research? Where do you go for the research? You know?
I don't know. You look at you could probe it.
No, you can't. You can't do that.
Well,
this is
I tried.
Way to go. You really tried to shoehorn that in.
I tried. I did try. We can circle back.
She pulled a muscle doing it. That was quite the stretch.
That was. Listen, I'm in origami because I fold.
Oh, dang. Okay, my favorite Chuck Norris, right?
Oh, boy.
Is Chuck Norris can fold airplanes into paper. Remember that? You can fold paper into airplanes? But Chuck Norris is so badass, he can fold airplanes into paper.
Love that.
Anyway, he's a Republican. That's why it came to mind.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, kudos to him. Yeah. Kudos to Liz Cheney. We're hoping for the best. I want her to stay in the Senate. Yeah.
She's one of the few Republicans I like Liz Cheney more than I like Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
Elizabeth Warren she just looks too cool with her popped collar. You know what I'm saying? Not that I go by looks, but she seems a bit, like with her dog and her nice log cabin house. I'm like, how did you get that? Liz, you don't see Liz Cheney walking around with popped collars and houses with dogs and husbands.
Well, that's because anyway. So moving on from Liz Cheney into a funner story. So we're going to go on to morningbrew.com, which Morning Brew is better served as an email. I don't know if you're listening, Morning Brew, but I enjoy the format better as like an email newspaper. They give you the topics. They section it off nicely.
So you wish the Morning Brew website looked like their emails.
Yeah.
I hope. Yeah. You know what? We'll tag Morning Brew on this episode.
Yeah.
And we'll see if they listen.
I love Morning Brew.
But do you know how hard it is to do that? Like you have to change the whole thing.
The whole code.
It's insane.
Yeah. And I'm not a coder, so I have no sympathy for it.
So when you go to the Huffington Post, it has a bunch of photos and then all the stories. And then you go to Drudge Report and it's just a bunch of links.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. All websites are different, but how do they get the information to you, right? Mm-hmm. And what you're saying is that Morning Brew sends you this information in an email, and then when you go to the website, you're like, how do I get the information that I got in the email?
Yeah. It's not exactly all aligning.
Right.
It's different information. Right. But there is a fun topic on here, which is Legos.
Legos?
Legos. From bricks to Blockbuster, Lego's 90-year rise into everything. And Legos really are in everything. At this point, they've made movies, they make video games, like of the exact same, like of just same franchises, just put Legos in it.
We played Star Wars, Lego Star Wars.
Yep.
I think the third one, we played it on the Nintendo, it was like a flip thing. I think there's a new Lego movie coming out. It's the Lego Vacation, or Star Wars Lego Vacation, Summer Vacation or something.
Do people in Star Wars have time to vacation?
No, but they have time to watch Legos acting as Star Wars Vacation. Acting Legos, they have time to watch a movie.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Because I don't know, you're in the middle of all the Star Wars, how do you do anything leisurely?
Dude, I'll go with this. Legos are expensive and Legos are so popular. So
People
I train a
love
couple of
having
kids
Legos.
in martial arts, and one of them is all about the Harry Potter Legos. Aiden, my 20-year-old, who's in college and is just an amazing kid, amazing young man, he used to do Halo Legos. Those things are so intricate. The video game Halo.
Yeah.
He did helicopters and the Wraith, the Starship, whatnot. It's amazing. It's really good.
They built everything. I mean, there's Legoland. People have just cities in Lego format in their houses. It's like home decor. There's the Lego Batman movie. That was in 2017.
Boom. Remember the Lego movie, Everything is Awesome? And then they did the Lego 2, right? Lego 2 movie. And then they did Lego Batman, and then they did Lego Ninjago, which we also went to go see.
Lego Ninjago.
Ninjago. It was pretty good, but it started. People had Lego Burnout, Lego Movie Burnout.
Yeah.
So Ninjago didn't do as well, but it was still a good movie.
Yeah. Just heavy on the Legos.
Yeah.
Did you know that Lego is a combination of two Danish words, legot, which translate to play well?
Oh.
There you go. Fun
I
little
did
fact.
not know that.
Yeah.
Leg cunt?
That's not. Legoat.
Legoat.
How do you G-O-D-T?
I heard G-O-C-U-N-T.
That's not what I said at all.
But that's what I heard.
Nope, because you were listening with your massagey ears.
Massagey.
Anyways, happy 90th anniversary to Legos.
They're 90 years old?
They're 90 years
In 10
old.
years, they will be a thing for a whole century.
A whole century, yeah.
2032.
Yeah, they went from a small carpenter making these toys that connect together to then selling them as sets to then connecting them to franchises and making video games and toys and
Wow.
TV shows, movies.
I'll say there's nothing. So there have been many copies, like Duplo blocks, the big ones.
Duplo blocks.
Duplo. You got to look them. They're giant Legos for Republicans and Democrats. Because anybody who holds on to a party as strong as Democrats and Republicans hold on to their party,
Yeah,
they deserve Duplo blocks.
they deserve the building blocks.
If you're listening to this and you're one of those Republicans that are like, oh, I'm all about, no matter what you hear about your party, or if you're one of those Democrats that are like, oh, it's all about my party, and you don't care about their breaking the law and their criminal activities, just stop. Just stop.
Just stop.
Just
And it's funny, Lego actually bought out Duplo and then discontinued it. So it's not even a thing anymore.
what else should we do that with? Like if we should buy it and then discontinue it.
Yeah, we should absorb rainwater and discontinue it.
If we absorbed rainwater, we would get cancer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
What would I think I would buy Teflon, any sort of thing that does, and then discontinue it. Because so Teflon in your pan, it scrapes off, right? Like you've noticed, where does it go? In your food, and you eat it.
In your body.
And it goes into your body. And what does your body do? It breaks it down and it digests it.
Forever chemicals.
Boom.
Yeah.
So I would do that.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a pretty good one. I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, I love that story about that's what I love about the Drudge Report, Huffington Post, and then now we have Morning Brew. Just Morning Brew's all about, hey man, Legos.
It's always got like a fun little puff
that.
story going on.
And then you look at the Drudge Report and their entertainment is like Nicki Minaj did this, or you look at Huffington Post and they're always like, I had an abortion and this is my story or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
It's just really dumb. But Morning Brew is like,
Not dumb, but
well, you know, not
They
dumb,
are-
but dumb. Wait, I meant a different word.
geared
meant-
towards a specific audiences, obviously.
Okay, what I meant by that was,
I'm gonna go ahead and stop you there, Chris.
look,
Yeah. Uh-huh. Listen,
I don't, yeah.
these are great. So that kind of ends it for the HuffPost, the Morning Brew, for the news segments. We had a lot of questions today.
And my career.
And your
Did
career.
you hear what Chris
Yeah.
Mata said about abortions? Right?
They're dumb.
They're dumb. But that's not what I meant at all.
What did you mean?
I just meant that the stories on the Huffington Post, it's always like, I made cookies at 100 degrees for 4 hours and this is what happened.
Yeah.
It's always something like that.
It is something like that.
Yeah, it didn't have to be abortions, that's just what came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoke from the heart.
From the heart, yes.
Yeah.
Always opinion pieces.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I did not put that on.
And so with that, thank you so much for watching. If you guys have stuck around this long, please remember to like, subscribe, comment. Let us know how dumb certain comments were or certain questions. Ask questions. Go on YouTube. Just do all of the things. I really appreciate you guys watching it, supporting our small business. And this is... Okay, so Chris's mic just went out because his phone rang, because apparently people don't silence their phones before certain segments. So thank you so much for joining me, Chris. It was lovely to have your misogyny-ness on the show. Can't wait to have you back. And yeah, this was a New Show podcast, one of the New Show podcasts of all time, and that's guaranteed. Thanks.